Hello, everybody. Today we are learning about if this, then that. And the acronym for that is IFTTT. So we're going to start off going to the website, ifttt.com. And remember that stands for if this, then that. And I'm going to show you what that means. So let's go ifttt.com. So basically what this will allow you guys to do is that if something happens that you define, then it can automatically trigger something new to happen. So for instance, I'm going to go into my account on IFTTT. This is a free option. You guys, just create a free account. If I come to mine, I want to go to my applets, because the applet is what it's called when you take, if this happened, then this should happen. That's an applet. So I'm going to click on my applets and I'll show you a few examples of mine. So this first one, automatically share new links you post on Facebook to Twitter. Now, I don't like the idea of everything that you post on Twitter or everything that you post on Facebook that you should post on Twitter too. I tell people every once in a while that's okay, but you should not make it a habit of always posting the exact same thing on all your platforms. So on this option, it will only repost if there's a link attached to my post. So maybe it's 10% of what I'm posting gets pushed over to Twitter. Then there's this next one, which I left this old like this on purpose because I want to show you how to change it. So this first one says, if new follower for Barbara Kane NLS, then post a tweet to Barbara Kane NLS. Now, Barbara Kane NLS is what my old Twitter handle was. And so I'm using a new Twitter handle, but I can make this name whatever I want. So if I click on this, for instance, and I can change, I go to settings here, give it just a second, and I can edit the title because now it's not Barbara Kane NLS, it is I believe my handle now is Fuse Your Biz. And then I come down, and you always want to save everything. But basically what this applet does now is that if I get a new follower on Twitter, it posts a, where did my thing go? Hold on, let me go to settings. It will post a comment, a post to my Twitter profile that says, thank you, and then whatever the person's full name is for the follow, and then it links to that person's profile. So if Kim were to follow me, it would automatically post for me publicly that says, thank you, Kim Hall, for the follow. And then it would link to Kim's profile so that my friends are now seeing her. Now you can make this say whatever you want. You could say, looking forward to connecting with you. Right? Oops, space there. And then save it again. So that is a nice one for you guys to use, because then that allows you to greet everybody who follows you without having to manually do it yourself. You guys, that's automation at its finest. You can also automate stuff like this right in your Facebook account too. Facebook's the only one that I know of that you can automatically send messages to people when they follow you. I don't know if the other platforms allow it, but you could do that right through Facebook. You don't need IFTTT to do that. Dwight, I thought I saw your hand go up. Do you have a question?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So if this, then that is going to automatically do that and cause your people to now see a new person that's following you, how do you protect yourself and your business from the types of people that are phishing or fake accounts? Because I've found that I've been followed and people have attempted to friend me, and I don't even necessarily know how they used to find me until I got really strict with my Facebook privacy checklists. But like, I get a lot of friend requests from people from other countries that I don't even know, and you can tell if you're a little bit privy that they're a fake account. They're actually looking to fish off of your friend list people that they can prey upon for some reason or another. how do you protect your company and your people from seeing that type of activity?
You're talking specifically about Facebook, it sounds like.
Well, no, I've had other followers on other areas that, they follow you to get access to you to try to sell you or to try to bait you into giving them something that will allow them access to your bank accounts mainly. Every
So
time for me, it's been at the end of the game, they want your account information, and I never give my account information to anybody online that I don't have a personal rapport with of some kind or another.
okay, so here's a couple of things. Number one, on a lot of these profiles, you don't have to connect with each other to be connected. Like, so on Twitter, for instance, I can follow you on Twitter without you following me. And if you posted, thank you, Barbara, for following, because I started following you, if this automatically posted like that, it does not give me access to anything of yours because you tagged me. It's just tagging. The second thing to address is that you mentioned that people will message you and try to sell you or spam you. Yeah, there are definitely a lot of accounts out there like that, especially on Facebook. A good rule of thumb is a lot of times I get messages like that too, but I know you kind of know when somebody is when something's fake, right? The way that I figure it out is if somebody, I won't even friend someone if I don't feel like for instance, if we have no mutual friends, I will click on their profile, I'll look at it. If it was just created today or recently and there's only one picture up there and there's no description and they live in a place that I've never even been to or heard of or anything like that, I just don't even friend them. I just delete it. So that's the first step of filtering, right? Is just to not accept people that you don't actually know or feel comfortable with. Now, if I have like 132 mutual friends with this person, I feel like it's probably safe to connect with them, especially if I look at the mutual friends and they're I could tell, oh, this is another business person. Sometimes I have like only 5 or 6 mutual friends with them. So then I will look and see who those mutual friends are. And based on those friends, I'm able to determine. Like, for instance, if all 6 of them are just other really pretty girls, I know that this person is just trying to fish out pretty girls. That's not a friend I want to accept, right? Like, and so just kind of just knowing that. And then when someone private messages me, I'm very quick to, if I don't know them, I get to the point of what they want very quickly. So if they're like, hey, how are you doing? I say, I'm doing great. What's going on? What are you looking for? Right? I very quickly say, what do you want? Right? And not such a mean way, obviously, but I'll do small talk for a few moments. But when someone starts asking personal questions like, so what's your family like, or something like that, that's when I'm like, yeah, I'm not having this conversation with a stranger, right? Like, no, thank you. And then that's when I block or delete if I feel like it's if I feel like I'm jeopardized in any way. So you can control the type of people who you communicate with and connect with. On Twitter, obviously, anybody can follow you unless you set your profile to private, which wouldn't do your business any good. But you don't have to necessarily follow them back or communicate with them, if that makes sense. Does that answer your question, Dwight?
Yeah, and those are all things that I already do. I wanted to make sure that if this, then that is going to generate an automatic link where other people are going to see you, that like if somebody that I didn't necessarily want to be following me happened to start following me because they wanted to fish out of my social network for prey, then I wouldn't want that to be something that would be able to allow them any kind of access to my people. But I do the same steps that you just mentioned. Whenever somebody reaches out to me, I do the same type of things in my own protection.
Good. So you're doing it good already. And then on Facebook, you actually can make your friends list not public. So your profile could be public, but your friends list can be private. And so that's something in your settings.
My friends list is only visible to my friends.
Okay, there you go. But that's the thing. If somebody connects with you, that you don't know if they're phishing, right? So you could actually set your friends list to be only visible to you even. Mm-hmm. So that's another way that you could filter people from being able to do stuff like that. Let's see. Tim says, Rick, we shouldn't be adding friends who are only looking to add good-looking people to their friends. I knew that was the only reason Tim friended me. Okay, so you guys, So yeah, just be cautious, you guys, of who you're connecting with and what kind of information you're giving. Obviously, you don't give any private information, right? You don't give bank accounts. You don't give. Yeah, I even as a young woman, I even won't talk about my family to people that I don't know. Of course, I post about my family here and there on social media, but I don't go all out and share too much. So you got to just be very careful with what you do share, because believe it or not, even if we think it's pretty private, there's ways that people can find things if they really wanted to. So protect yourself the most you can, but you'll probably never fully be protected when you're online, because there's ways hackers could get into anything. Okay. All right, so moving forward, I want to go to my Twitter profile for a moment to show you guys some of the examples of this in process. So I also have an applet, and I will show you in just a moment what this applet is. But this particular one, see how it says, good morning, happy Tuesday, do something today that your future self will thank you for. This message posts every single Tuesday. And of course, it's filtered in with other messages that I might post. And then there's good morning, happy Monday. Choose to work smarter, not harder today. And there's a hashtag. Good morning, happy Sunday. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Hashtag never give up. These messages post every single Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, right? And then I can filter in other posts by manually posting them. But that's just a good example of automation. And I get a lot of activity on this. Look, like, well, this week particularly, there's only been 1 and 1, but there's, things that just post automatically. I'm getting likes on them. And so that one should be in my, let me find what the name of that one is. And then I'll show you guys how to find different applets, or they're also called recipes. Sometimes these are called recipes, which is what they originally were called when IFTT first came out. So some people still call them recipes, but now they're called applets. But let me go to my account and I'll show you what that applet was. Oh, that's not the right thing. What am I doing? My applets, that's what I was trying to go to. Sorry about that. All right, so the one that I just showed you was, where is that one? That one might be in a different account. That might be in my old IFTT account, which means I may never, ever be able to stop that. But, yeah, because that one I don't see on here anywhere. But this one I haven't figured out how to use yet to get yourself out of an awkward situation. Apparently, it's just a button on your phone that you press. I haven't really done much research into it. This one is an email me 10 things this morning. So every morning I get an email of like the top 10 things that are being talked about in the world right now. And so it helps me to, even though I don't follow politics and stuff like that very much, it helps me to at least know what's going on in the world. So if somebody says something, I'm not completely like, what? What is that? So it takes me about 3 minutes to read that email.
So is that something you put on there, or is that something that's already there?
So all of these I put on myself. The ones that are grayed out means that I used to use them, but then I've disconnected them. Or maybe my account that was connected to it, I changed the password on, so it disconnected it. So each of these I chose myself. And there's probably thousands of different recipes on here that you could choose. So the best thing that you could do to find recipes that work for you is to either Google, I put a few Google searches up here for you guys, but so Google things like best recipes for IFTT, or most common IFTT applets, or something like that. Those will show you some of them. So I'm on one right now that shows, I think I Googled best applets or something like that. I think I have a question. Let me check the chat real fast. Dwight, that must be when you're on a bad date and when you're, yeah, right? Exactly. You could make it, get yourself out of an uncomfortable situation. You could make your phone ring with like the tap of the button. But again, like I said, I never really put too much try into that, mostly because when I have a bad situation, I usually just say, oh, you know what? I forgot to do whatever or something. I'm usually good about getting myself out of a bad situation.
Some people have a hard time getting out of conversations and getting away from people that are just taking up their time. For me personally, I love entertaining conversations so much that I find myself in conversations with customers, and I'm supposed to be gone an hour ago, and I'm still standing around the job talking with the customer just because I can't break from the conversation. So, and it's not a bad situation, but I could sure use a phone call with somebody being like, "Hey, I need you to come over here," so I could be like, "I really got to go."
Yeah, no, for sure. And nowadays you could just quickly text message someone and say, call me real quick, right? And then as you pick up the phone, oh, okay, all right, I'll be right there, right? So typically your friends and family, if something like that happens, they know that you're just trying to get out of something. But okay, so back to some of these applets. So as you search, it shows like this one will save all of your receipts to Evernote. So you have to just have a camera widget on your smartphone, right? And so you connect it with your smartphone, with the camera of your smartphone. See how right here it shows it works with your camera, right? And then this shows how many people are using this widget. This shows who created the widget, and this is the name of the widget. And so the reason it's green is because Evernote, their brand color is green, and that's why this one is chosen to be this color green. The person who creates it usually chooses the color here. Okay, so then this one, you could have all your receipts saved to the same folder in Evernote, which would be fantastic come tax time, right? Because then you just have all your receipts saved there. All you're doing is just taking a quick picture every time you have a receipt. It puts it right into this Evernote folder for you. And then at tax time, you just send that folder to your accountant, or share the folder with them, and they could see it all year long and be really prepared. Turn down your ringers. Some of these are kind of like I could do that without Ifttt, right? Let's see some of the other ones. Emergency wedding anniversary reminder. Clearly you could do this on your own phone without an Ifttt, but this gives you an email reminder a week before your wedding or anniversary. So helps you to not forget your anniversary. Down here it shows it works with email, right? So let's say if I wanted to use one of these, how do I do it? So I can click on it and it will take me to the page that I could set it up for myself. So here's where I can connect it. If I click connect, it's going to go and ask me what is the date of my wedding or my anniversary or whatever. Okay, so if I need to choose Central Time, I need to click connect. Okay, it's connecting it. Looks like it, okay. And then it's saying every year on, let's see, Isaac and I have weird anniversaries because we had an impromptu wedding. And so we're going to,
So you forgot it. You already forgot it.
this up. I did. I forgot. Don't tell him. I think he could hear me.
It's being recorded.
I think it was August 18th when we actually had our ceremony.
You think.
So we're going to use that one. And so let's say choose a date or a week or so before the anniversary. So clearly I don't want it to come on the 18th. So maybe I want it to come on the 15th so that I remember it's about that time. I ask at 2 p.m., send me an email, and it says it's almost time for your wedding anniversary. Congratulations from all of us. So then I can save it right here. And now all of these accounts you create when you come here and you go to your account, my email address is saved in my account. That's how it knows which email address to send it to. So it will send it here. Down here are my linked accounts. So my Facebook is linked, my Google is linked. My Twitter is linked, but that shows, Twitter is the one that I created the account with. That's why it's up here as the profile. So the ones that you need to connect, if you're not already connected, it will ask you to connect your account. So if you go to set up something that uses Twitter and you don't have your Twitter profile connected, it will say, first we need to connect your profile. And then it will prompt you to do so. Okay, so that's one way, is to search for different options and see what you can find. And then another option, I think there was one in here. Oh, I wanted to show you too that some of these you need, hold on one sec, please. Babe, you got him? Babe? Okay, the dog is crying to go outside. All right, so some of these are like you need other things to make it work, like this control your appliances. You actually need to have like a certain type of appliance and that appliance's app on your phone in order for that to work. So there's some things that are that need more. Like this one, Call My Phone, you need to have Alexa or Google Assistant in place in order to use that. Turn off the Wi-Fi when you're not at home. You'd have to also connect your bank account with, or I mean, you'd have to connect your Wi-Fi from your home to your Ifttt account. Same thing with this warm up your bed. You have to have a certain kind of bed, which is this Nest thermostat or whatever. So some of these you have to have something else in order to be able to use this. Some of them can get really fancy, right? How cool would it be to warm up your bed when you're not even home, right? But you need to have different things for that. Dwight, go ahead.
Would you recommend Google Assistant? I really just getting all the stuff together from this program alone is going to take me a week or two after we're done in incorporating the parts of it that I want to use into my business plan.
Mm-hmm.
But Google Assistant, I really haven't done much exploring with it. And I don't think you are going to actually cover Google Assistant by itself. You covered Google in its whole.
Mm-hmm.
But is that something that you think would be beneficial for somebody like me?
Yeah, so I personally do use Google Assistant. I think it's really helpful. If you haven't looked into it, you should look into it. And yeah, you're right. I don't cover that by itself, but I do recommend it. Rick says you could have Barbara Assistant. That's actually true, but okay, so I'm not quite as available as Google Assistant is, though. She's like she's right there, right when you say Google.
And Barbara uses Google Assistant to assist you.
Exactly, there you go. So
Because you can't remember your anniversary date.
I know, right? Hey, I'm just telling you, we had some confusion. And actually, let me just tell you guys why there's confusion. Isaac proposed to me at home one night when I was in my pajamas and he put a suit on and it made me angry. And I said, yes, I'll marry you, but you are re-proposing. I was so mad because I was like, I wanted nice pictures of the proposal. And so like, and then we had our ceremony at the church, but then we had a different date where we actually went and got our marriage license. We didn't even have a marriage license when we got married, right? Like, so we have a lot of confusing dates. I can't keep up with them all. We haven't even had our reception yet. That'd be a whole nother date.
Yeah, my ex-wife was very upset with me because we got married November 18th and I didn't actually turn in the papers for the anniversary, to the because you got to turn in the papers to make sure that
Right.
you get the date. I didn't turn them in for like a month. So our actual wedding date legally was like a month after we actually took our vows. She was pretty upset.
Yeah, that's kind of like how ours was too. It was like, I think it was September 29th when we actually went and got our marriage license, and we technically got married on August 16th. It was like, yeah, a whole bunch of confusion. So there's too many dates for me to remember. It might have been August 18th. I don't remember the exact date. You guys, I can't believe this is recorded and my husband's going to see I don't know when we got married. It's usually the opposite. It's
No
usually
worries.
the man that forgets.
No worries. I
We
just
won't
texted
say a
him. He's
word.
fully aware. I just texted him for you. You're welcome.
Rick, you're going to pay for this.
I have a question though about.
I'm giving
so
you
if have
Barbara
Alexa,
assistant. Come on.
Thank you, Rick. What's that, Marie?
So if you have Alexa, she's listening to me now. Just kidding. We call her JoJo when we don't want her to work. So if you have it, you can tell it to call your phone at a certain time, and because you have it, it'll do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. On this app, which one of those was? Yeah, right here. Call my phone. So sometimes you're going to lose your phone. So if you lose it, you could say, "Hey Alexa, call my phone," and then
Okay.
Alexa will do so. Right. Again, it might take a few minutes to set it up the very first time because Alexa needs to know what your phone number is, right? And stuff like that. But once you've set it up once, you never need to set it up again. You just need to prompt it.
Okay.
Okay, so there is a few minutes of setup time for each of these things, but it's really just a few minutes. All right, good questions. So then if we move on to the next tab that I pulled up for you guys, this one was 35 amazingly useful recipes that simplify your life. Okay, so again, you just kind of scroll through. Who doesn't like a simplified life? So let's see. Obviously, there's lots of ads on this particular one. This is just the person's thing. So this one, how to automate your home with Ifttt. So this also uses the Nest app, right? So Nest is I'm not familiar with what Nest is, but that's the one that showed warm up your bed. It's probably the one that, I know there's one that you can change your thermostat in your house while you're not home too. I believe that's Nest. There's a whole bunch of things, like where you can set your thermostat from a certain time to another time to go to a different temperature. And so you could do all those things through Ifttt. Some of the things that you can do through Ifttt, you can also do on its own as well, but it's really nice to have it all just managed in one place. Let's see, so let me scroll down a little bit. Here's one smart, oh, this is another smart thing. How to automate your health and fitness with Ifttt. So some of those you health people here, this could be good. So if somebody, this is Fitbit that it's using. So give me just a moment. Let me get this out of the way. So this one says that it's running super slow here. If you want, for instance, you can just get along on the Fitbit app. So it looks like, I don't know which one of these is the Fitbit app. Do you guys know? Is it the butterfly or this black square? Does anyone use Fitbit? I don't know which one's the Fitbit app there. Marie, you're muted. It looks like you're saying something, but you're muted.
I think it's the black square one.
Okay, got it. All right, well now my internet is trying to reload this, so we'll give that a second. But what it looks like is that, and we'll be able to see in just a moment, but it looks like this is going to sync your Fitbit to an app on your phone that allows you to keep track of like your steps and stuff like that. And now it went way away. So my darn computer today.
Isaac is taking it over.
What's that?
Isaac is taking it over.
Yeah, right. He's messing with me now that I don't remember. All right, here we go. I think it's ready now. Here we go. So yeah, it looks like it goes Fitbit. It logs your Fitbit activity to the Jawbone Up app, which I'm not sure what that is, but I'm guessing it is some kind of health tracking app. So that's really neat to be able to have something that you log it in one place and then it logs it for you in another place that maybe you have more options in or something like that. If you update your Fitbit weight when you weigh yourself on, I don't know, Withings scale. So there's just different options you could do here. I wonder if it's this page that's making my computer go slow. I'm going to try to X out of this one because this one has a lot of ads on it. So I feel like it might be slowing down what I'm doing. And so basically, you guys, what the point of Ifttt is that you can choose to automate some of the things that you could do or should do or would do, but you just don't have the time to always do it. Like for instance, this, I don't have time to put out an inspiration message every Tuesday and every Monday and I just don't have time for that. It's easier for me to schedule it and allow people to see something kind from me, right? I may not have time to, whenever I link something on Facebook, to link it on Twitter as well. My email that I get every morning that says, here's the 10 things you should know today. I don't have time to look at all kinds of news things and just keep up with all these different things that I really have very little interest in, but it's nice to at least have a small amount of information so that I'm not completely dumbfounded when someone starts talking about something. So these, you guys, my recommendation is to Google Ifttt, applets, or recipes. Find some that work for you. You may find some that you love, and you might find some that are like, okay, why would anyone even do this? Like, it doesn't make sense. But there are so many of them out there that even if you can find one or two things to add to your life to simplify or automate something, it would be worth you taking some time to check this out. All right, you can also explore. So if I go to this, you can click on explore up here and you can explore some based on keywords. So before I showed you to Google popular ones, but I can actually type in business here and then it will show me some apps that some applets I might want to use based on business, right? So get a notification when new business stories are published in the Times, right? Remember this business card? Looks like there's 2 different ones of this created. I'm not sure what that is, but let's see what that says. When someone hands you a business card, use this recipe to send to yourself via email, so you have a single searchable way to keep track of people you meet through work. Need to find that person you met last month at that one event but can't remember their name. This recipe has you covered. So it looks like it just uses your camera and your email. So all you need to do is take a picture of it with your camera and it goes to your email. All right, so that's a pretty neat option. Let's go back to Explore. You can, let me see if we can do it by time management. I know a lot of you struggle with time management. Oh, look, Trello. Remember we learned that? Add Trello to your lifestyle analytics with Welltory. So Welltory is probably, it looks like it must be, that looks like it might be I don't know what that is. It's some kind of app. Look, you can also add Asana to that same app, Welltory. I don't know what Welltory is, but it might be worth looking into. Let's see if we can find any more. Get a notification every time an astronaut enters space. That might just be fun, you guys, right? Let's see. Turn off your Wi-Fi at a specific time. Isaac and I actually talked about possibly at like when we go to bed to turn off our Wi-Fi in our house so that the kids get stuck having to go to bed too, because without Wi-Fi, what are they to do? We haven't done that yet, but that would actually be pretty interesting to do. You could send yourself a text message at a certain time every day. You might even be able to send it to someone else too. Let's see, a clock and then
So
text
any
message.
of these, once you pick them, then once you pick it inside of it, it'll tell you what you need to do to be able to connect with it, right?
Exactly. So like for instance, this send a text message every day at a certain time. Let's see what that does. So as you scroll down, because it already has my cell phone number in my account, it's not telling me anything I need to do. But now here's where I can choose. Let's see. Can I choose to send to someone else? Oh, I can. Look at that. So it doesn't even have to be to myself. So I could send like 6 p.m. every day. I could check all the days or uncheck them. Let's send it to my daughter. I'm going to set up some. Well, actually, I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't put my daughter's phone number on a live thing, should I? All right, I'll send it to myself. You guys can have my phone number. It's all over the internet. You are awesome, right? A nice pick-me-up, right? So 6 o'clock, work day is done. That's the day when the kids kind of are like, oh, they're the time when the kids kind of start getting to me because, you know, they want everything as soon as the work day is done. So what it's saying now is that this applet needs the Ifttt number. So it wants me to put my phone number in here. This is the one that it's going to send from, or that it's going to send from, because it's going to send me a message right now, which it just did. So it wants me to download this app. So sometimes it's going to have you download something else. And so it says download the Ifttt app to use your new applet. So then it gives me the link. All I have to do is download it. And then now anything that I make in Ifttt, that there's so many T's, that involves my phone, it will be able to do because now it's on my phone. I can also search this stuff on my app too, so I could create new ones and stuff like that. Go ahead, Dwight.
While you have it open there on your phone, how big is that app, the Ifttt app?
What do you mean, size-wise?
Yeah, how big is the size without cookies and all the other stuff, just the basic app itself?
Let's see.
Yeah, I can't add any more apps. I'm totally out of room.
I thought you were getting a new phone, Phyllis.
Well,
Right?
I will eventually, but it's not, after all of you folks go online and book the virtual consults, I can afford a new phone.
So Barbara, how did you put your Fuse logo up there at the top where next to the Explore?
Yeah, and right up in when you go to account here, Dwight, I'm not sure how to see how big it is. I just put it right here. So when you first set up your account, I set mine up through Twitter originally. So it's using my profile image that I have on Twitter. So if I change this on Twitter, it will change it on here as well, because that's what I created IFTTT through. So if you
whichever
create,
one you use.
right, whatever you use, whether that's your email, your Facebook, or any of that, it will use that picture. Dwight, I'm not sure where to see how big this is. It doesn't show it anywhere easily for me.
I'm looking it up now. Should be able to find it in the App Store.
Yeah, that's what I was looking through. I don't see it anywhere in there. Okay, so, all right, so let's see a few other things. So if we explore, you can also look for things just related to Twitter or Facebook or any of those other ones. So I could just type Twitter in there and it could show me all the different recipes or applets that I can use for this platform. So I can record Twitter tweets, tweet my Instagrams as native photos on Twitter, Twitter mentions, RSS to Twitter, keep your Facebook and Twitter profile pictures in sync. So for those of you who are doing social media on your own, and I've been telling you that you need to be consistent across the board, this is an easy way to, every time you update your Facebook profile, it updates your Twitter profile, or your picture, your image. So that's neat. Let's see, YouTube video to Twitter. So every time you post a YouTube video on YouTube, it goes to Twitter. So that would be a good one that I'd want to set up, because I'm using a lot of YouTube right now, and it will give me more content on my Twitter page without me having to actually manage my Twitter page. Does that make sense? And so if I click on it, it's asking me which YouTube do I want to use. I'm not going to use either of those. I'm going to
It's
use
10 megabytes.
10 megabytes. Okay, thank you for sharing, Dwight. All right, so I'll use this profile because that's the one that my YouTube is on. And then it should authenticate it and allow me to do this applet. So Marie, this also answers the question you had just a moment ago too, that, see, I didn't have YouTube set up on here, so it just had me connect YouTube to this, because YouTube was one I did not have connected. All right, so now it shows me that now I can connect it, right? The first time I wasn't able to. Oh, wait a second, did I not connect it? I'm not sure, let's see. Oh, I think I had it already connected. Yeah, I did. I just clicked it again. Okay, so what it's showing now is that now every time I put a YouTube video up, it's going to go to my Twitter. See there, now it shows that it's connected because it moved that red dot from the left side to the right side. On the right side, it's toggled on the left side, it is toggled off. And so if it has the word connect, that means you can connect it. If it says connected, that means it is connected already. So I'll be posting a couple videos on YouTube today, the one from yesterday and then the one from today I'll be posting up there tonight. And so those should both go automatically to my Twitter profile. It doesn't look like I can add anything like here's our latest video or anything like that. So on some apps, you're able to add text before what you put, and some apps you're not. It depends on which applet you choose.
So the whole video goes on Twitter?
Yeah, so it would be a link to the Twitter video. It would show an image of the video, and then it would go to when they click on it, it would take them to YouTube.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so does anybody want me to search something else on here to see what might come up? Go ahead, Dwight.
What about another receipt app?
Okay. Did I spell receipt
Can't remember
right?
who turned me on to another
before
receipt
this.
app. I have Receipt Bank. Is Receipt Bank something I can link?
Let's see. Is Receipt Bank one word or two words?
It's the name of the app. It looks like one word, trademark, Receipt Bank.
Okay, I don't see Receipt Bank specifically, but here's keep eBay receipt in OneNote, get daily bank balance texted to you, save receipt images to Evernote, remind me to expense this receipt, receipt tracker. Let's see, when I take a photo near the office, it's probably a receipt, email it to me. Okay. Take a photo of a receipt and send it to Expensify. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see any specifically for Receipt Bank, but here's saving your receipts to Dropbox, to Google. Yeah, so there's all these different options. Save pics of wedding receipts to Google Drive. Oh, all these wedding things. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, so if you're getting married, right? Maybe if anyone out there is planning for the big day.
And you won't have to forget your anniversary.
I know, right? Don't forget your anniversary. So you could do, let's see, share new wedding articles with a group via Gmail, right? That's the one we just did. And see how down here it shows I'm already connected to this one? The ones I'm not connected to, it shows how many people are connected to it. This one is get a weekly email from Wedding Inspiration, with Wedding Inspiration from Style Me Pretty. Wedding hashtag, I'm guessing that means anytime someone uses the hashtag wedding, that sends you a message. Looks like on if they post wedding hashtag on Instagram, then it should go to your Dropbox, the picture. That's my guess just by looking at this. Let's see if I was correct or how close I was. And so once you know how to read these applets, then you'll be able to look without having to click on it to see. So this one doesn't give very much information. Photos from my wedding. Oh, I was very wrong. So a lot of times nowadays people have their, so like for instance, we could do a hashtag Carr wedding, and every time someone uses the hashtag Carr wedding on Instagram, like when they're at my wedding, for instance, our reception will say, then all of the pictures that people use that for will automatically go into a Dropbox folder for me, which means that I don't need people to send me pictures. They just need to use that hashtag when they post it on Instagram, and it will come straight to me. So that's pretty cool, right?
It really is. Yeah.
Instagram, but what about if they hashtag it on Facebook or some other social media platform? Will it be able to collect them from there as well?
This one looks like specifically to Instagram. There might be another option for Facebook, but this one looked like it was specific for Instagram. Let's see, let me go back to explore. Let's see, money. Those of you who maybe are like doing stuff with your money right now, money management, money saving, tax retirement, stuff like that. Save money every time it snows, right? That's an interesting, fun thing. You'd save a lot of money here in the Midwest. Add money to your savings account with one tap, right? Save money when you work out. That's a cool one. You go work out and put money into your savings account. Move money into a pot every time you tweet. That's pretty cool. So all these just different things. And so clearly with these ones, you probably need to connect your bank account or your online banking or something like that. That way that it has your money to move into these places. Okay, so those are just some fun options. Look at that one, keep your mind on your money. So that looks like if there's a Times article, it emails you probably anything that has to do with your money, right? If it has the word money in it, probably it emails you if it comes from the New York Times. You can also go to health, click on, search health. Well, that Well-Tori has a lot of recipes here. Again, I don't know what that is, but it might be worth checking into because it there's a lot of options there. Sync your Fitbit Araya weigh-ins to health, which must be another app. Health Fitbit, and then health. Yeah, so that's an ISO app on health. Quickly update weight on health and Strava. So again, that's two things it updates it on. Get a weekly email digest of science and health news from Time. Let's see, here's from New York Times. Get an email when there's a new popular article in the health section. So, oh, John, hey, woo! So, Marie, this would be something good for you too, because again, when you're in the health industry, let me give you guys an example of something. I had a client recently who hired us for social media, and he didn't understand social media very much. And he didn't understand why we were posting things about his industry, like education-wise. He was like, I don't even offer that. And I said, I understand that, but it's part of your industry. You still want to educate people, even if it's something that you don't offer. For instance, like if you have a lawn care business and maybe you don't cut down trees, but it's still, if people are interested in lawn care, they might also be interested in trees being cut down, right? So you give the people what they want. And so Marie, an example for you, if in the New York Times, if there's an article on health, you could utilize these articles on your social media. You could use it in a way for if there's an article you agree with. You can post it on your social media and talk it up about why you agree, why this is a great article. And it's positioning you as an expert, but it's also positioning you as kind of like you're being connected to the New York Times, even though you're not, right? And if there's an article you don't agree with, you can actually post that too. And you can say, this is the most often misconception in health. You know, people keep saying this and this is not accurate or something like that. Clearly you don't have to like defame anybody or anything like that. But it's okay to share these different types of things when there's articles posted in places that aren't you. And share with people things from your industry and things related to your industry and things they might also be interested in if they're interested in what you offer, even if you don't particularly sell it yourself. Let's see. Quickly log your sleep. Now that's really cool. I need to figure out how to do that. So what does this do? Let's see if it says, every time you fell asleep, followed by the time you woke up, to manually log into the health app. For example, yesterday at 11 p.m. to today at 7 a.m. So what it appears on this is that you need to have this health app, which is an Apple app. And then you need to, every time before you go to bed, log in or into it or something. And then when you wake up, log into it. And then that will put a note into your note widget of when you went to bed and when you woke up.
How do you know?
Because as I hover over it, it says iOS health. iOS means Apple.
Wow. Okay.
Who said wow?
I did. I was multitasking. I just realized that my van was on empty and I filled it for $24.
Nice.
A van.
Wait, how did you do that from inside your house?
No, I went to Costco and then I just looked at my bank account on my phone to see how much because I just swiped it, grabbed the receipt and left because I was worrying. Okay. And I'm like, that can't be.
That makes sense. You know, we got gas the other day at Costco for, I think it was $1.19.
It was $1.14, I think, today.
It was like $11. I think we filled up the whole tank. It was pretty cool.
Yes.
It's supposed to drop for 2 more weeks before it hits its bottom.
Can I ask a question about a subject from a couple of days ago? Because I have to jump off right at 3. In fact, I got on late because I've got another meeting. Barbara, tomorrow I set up a Zoom meeting with a client, and it's not a linked from my website Zoom. It's somebody who called me and asked me to set it up. So I set up the Zoom meeting, and I don't know how to send them an invite. I have their email, but I basically have a Zoom meeting for 10:30 tomorrow morning, and I don't know how to actually send the codes to them.
Okay, so Phyllis, what I'll do, I know you've got to jump off at 3 o'clock, but after I finish this call, I'll share my screen and do it on this video, and then I'll send you a copy of it.
Okay.
Okay? All right, sounds
that
good.
That sounds perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
Anyone else? You're welcome. Anyone else have any questions?
No, I like this. Actually, I was doing it. I was doing it while we were doing it. I'm like, I like this.
Good. I like that. All right. So Christy said, all you have to do is Google Discover, and that's how you can find all these different links. So Christy, in Google, I put the things I Googled, the first one was useful Ifttt apps. IFTTT apps, or common IFTTT recipes, and those will come up. So the site itself is ifttt.com. You could go directly to that and also explore in their section in the top right button as well. So I hope that answered your question.
Yes, thank you.
You are welcome.
I'm going to have to re-listen to this because I only made half of it, and it's fascinating.
Good.
It looks like something that I'll have fun with.
I wasn't sure how many of you guys were going to like this, so I'm good. I'm so glad that you guys are seeming to like it a lot. All right. Let me give you guys your homework, and then I'll take any more questions. So your homework is for you to create a free account at ifttt.com. Remember, that stands for if this, then that. Then explore the many options that there are. Choose any.
Can you do this on a computer and not on your phone?
Yes, you can do it
Because
on.
my phone won't hold any more apps right now.
Yes, you can do it on either one. And then explore all the different options that there are. Choose any that work for you, whether that's 1, 2, 10, or 30, right? Choose whatever works for you, set them up, and then tell us about your great finds. If there's something that you're like, this is the coolest thing ever, I'm so glad I found this, then share it with us, because you might not be the only person who thinks that's the coolest thing ever. So please share with us any cool apps that you find. And you can share it by just putting the app name on there, and then people could go and explore with the app name itself. All right, any questions, comments, or concerns before we finish?
Oh, this is cool. I'm like looking through already.
Oh, good. Dwight, did you have a question?
I was saying farewell. I'm going to check out this app, though. I think it's going to help out a little bit.
Perfect. Well, you guys, good luck on your applets. I'm going to go ahead and jump in to share my screen to show Phyllis how to do the Zoom invite. If you need to see that yourself, you're welcome to stay on. If you're not, then you're welcome to go. Thank you all for being here. Have a great day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so Phyllis, can you see my screen?
I can.
All right, so when you are in your Zoom account, let's see, Zoom account, give it just a moment, it's still loading. So you click on the My Account over on the right-hand side. If you don't see My Account, click the blue Zoom button on the left first, and then My Account will pop up. Once you're here, then you can go to Meetings on the left.
Yeah.
And go to Personal Meeting Room, because that's where you want to meet this person at, in the Personal Meeting Room.
Oh, maybe that's what I did wrong. I just put schedule a meeting.
Yeah, and so once you're in your personal meeting room, there is a button, right? So it says join URL. Right here, there's a copy the invitation. So if you click on that, this is what you'll send to her. So all you have to do is click copy meeting invitation, and then you just paste that in either Gmail or Facebook or wherever you're going to send it. And the password is already included on here for her.
Right.
So it's
okay, that's what I wanted to know what to do. So I should just delete the meeting I've already scheduled and redo this.
Did you schedule one in, like you created?
I put schedule a meeting. And then down here it shows that I've got a meeting scheduled, but no way to invite anybody.
Okay. So if it's on schedule, if you clicked schedule a meeting, there should also be that too. Let me schedule one to show you. A test, see how much it makes me fill out before it tells me no. Okay.
See, the way it looks, I've got a meeting with myself. Yeah, that's how it looks.
Okay, so here's the meeting test. And so if I click on this to see it again, so the join link is right down here now. So same thing, if you've already scheduled it, same thing, you just copy this invitation, and it also, again, has the password for her right there.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so copy the whole thing and send it to her, and then you should be good.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Okay. Sorry I was late.
Oh, no worries. Hi, Kathy. I didn't get to say hi when you were on. Welcome. And then John and Dave, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to go ahead and end this call unless any of you have any questions.
We're good.
Thanks. See you tomorrow.
Bye. See ya.
Adios, guys.